Hey everybody, welcome to Funnel Hacker TV. We have a guest joining us who is going to be speaking on the stage at Funnel Hacking Live in September. Him and his partner, they've used dramatic demonstrations to do crazy things. So he's going to come and talk to us about that and why they're going onto the stage. So we'll hear from him right after we roll the intro.
We are part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We are funnel hackers, and these are our stories.
Hey there, everybody. My name is Ben Moot. This is...
I'm Susan Leonardson.
And we are here with Funnel Hacker TV. We're so excited to have you guys as we announce the Funnel Hacking Live speakers. We are getting down to like the last few ones. It's so nice, by the way. I'm in Boise, so I get to look at Susan.
We're in person.
It's so nice. And everything just flows so much better when we're together. So this is awesome. But there's all this stuff going on. We want to make sure that you guys are getting all the notifications. So make sure that you have texted FHTV to 208-231-3797. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So make sure that you guys are inside of the notifications. That way we can let you guys know when we go live. And you guys do not miss a beat because each of these ones are spectacular. And they're all dropping crazy bonuses. Like if you guys have paid attention to what Brad Gibb and Ryan Lee drops, freaking out over that one. Like I can't wait for that one. If you guys are seeing what Steve Larson has dropped and what Barry has dropped, like all these amazing bonuses are just like, I would pay $9.97 just for this. And then I would pay an extra $9.97 for that and for that and for that. And so literally it pays for the ticket, it pays for the hotel, it pays for travel. Everything's taken care of with how much you guys are getting. So make sure that you are paying attention as we do those announcements. Let's talk about Funnel Hacking Live.
Okay.
It's time.
We're countdown. We're in that mode, but we are going to speak to another guest today.
Yes!
So let's introduce him.
All right. So
bring him on.
Yeah. So this guy is a friend of mine. Okay. So we met, oh my gosh, I think it was 2018. So we met 2018. We were both sitting at the same event and we both took action at the same time. So we were able to like be in the same mastermind for a little while and being able to see like somebody go from idea to idea to idea to finding that thing and it taking off and just exploding. And now like a couple months ago, we were sitting in this room at ClickFunnels headquarters and he was presenting on stage in front of Russell and Russell starts leaning in. And you know it's good when Russell starts leaning into your presentation and he's like all in. Like sometimes he's listening, he's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. This is not for me. And other times he's like, wait, I need more. I need more. And so he went up and talked to this guy afterwards. They had conversations. Like, I cannot wait to bring him on. Let's go ahead and welcome my friend and an amazing Funnel Hacking Live speaker this year, Bridger Pennington. Bridger, what is up, bro?
What's up? Ben and Susan, good to be on, y'all. This is fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh, so excited to have you. All right. So really quick, your business now is hedge funds. You teach people how to build a fund and to be able to grow it. And that's not something that is sexy. I'm going to say it really out. Like it's almost as unsexy as learning how to budget your funds. Like this is not something that everyone just wants to learn. You don't have an event like Funnel Hacking Live around this kind of stuff, right?
That's the exact opposite, Ben. This is the sexy industry, actually. So yeah, our company's called FundLaunch. We help people launch investment funds. So private equity, hedge funds, venture capital, real estate funds, like this kind of world. Traditionally, like Wall Street, big, huge funds that manage billions and trillions of dollars. We help regular people like me and you launch funds like this. So I run a hedge fund as well. We launched 130 funds last year out of our group of community. We have, I think, 10 student funds over $100 million, one student fund over $1 billion, 54 student funds over $10 million, which is, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty fun group. Yeah.
Holy cow. Okay. So you took this idea that only a select few, a group of people were able to do, make it grow. And like, I remember when that was just an idea and you were doing other things, like you were a funnel building agency for a while with Mason.
Yep.
You were doing all these other things. So like, give us really quick, that wasn't too long ago either. So if you could like tell us where it all got started, where did you join the ClickFunnels road? So that way people are like, oh my gosh, well, Bridger's just on the top of that mountain.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, not that way at all. I grew up in Utah, went on a church mission to Taiwan, got home, and I was super ambitious. So I started 6 different businesses my first 2 years of college. I started every business on YouTube you could imagine. I did real estate wholesaling. I did a Chinese tutoring business. We hired like 7 tutors. They were tutoring kids. That was pretty fun. we then started building websites for people. So I started to build, I did an internship at the time. I met a guy that was doing funnels. I didn't know what that was at the time. And he was the CMO, and I was his intern. And so he started to teach me about what a funnel was and who this guy, Russell Brunson, was. This is only, maybe 4 years ago, something like that. And I got really just interested on how like you could change the color of a button. It would change conversion rates and how headlines affected things and just how cool it was to A/B test this whole world. And so I read .com secrets and that stuff. This is during that time period. And I was testing out business. So I was dating kind of businesses while I was dating girls too. I was trying to get married, but, and so during that time period, kind of two stories at once, I started an investment fund. I come to find out my dad was running these. I grew up in a very normal house, just nothing bad, but just normal. My dad drove an old crappy car. And I remember my dad finally grabbed me. He's like, Bridger, you're kind of like a chicken with your head cut off. I want you to go talk to my business partner. This guy can really help you out. And I was like, okay, I'll go talk to whoever, I'll go talk to anybody. So I drove this guy's house. It's in this beautiful neighborhood, gated community. I pull up to this guy's house, beautiful white home. I knock on his door and I'm kind of nervous. Like, dang, this is a beautiful house. The guy answers the door. I walk in. It's gorgeous. He's got the basketball court in the basement, cars, pool, just beautiful entrance, like amazing house. Dude. Long story short, I go in, I sit down, I go, how did you do this? Like, how did you create all of this? And he goes, we started an investment fund. And we currently manage a real estate fund. It's $8 billion. To put it into perspective, a lot of people follow like Grant Cardone. Cardone Capital is about $4 billion. At the time, they are $8 billion. So twice as big as Cardone Capital. So I'm blown away. I'm like, holy crap. And now that was years ago. Today, they're over $48 billion. They are literally 10 times bigger than Cardone Capital. 10x Uncle G. And nothing against Uncle G. I like Uncle G, but I'm just saying to give you magnitude. So I was blown away. I was like, holy crap. And I thought, can I learn from you? Can be my mentor? And he said, go talk to your dad. He's like, your dad knows way more about it. And I said, no, my dad's kind of broke. We live in a small house. You live in a big house. Like, I want to learn from you. And he goes, Bridger, sorry to break it to you, but me and your dad make about the same amount of money. And my chin dropped to the floor. I was like, huh? Like, come again? Like what? And he's like, yeah, we're pretty much equal business partners. I left the dude's house. I drove straight to my dad's house. And I was like, Dad, like, what the heck? Like, what's going on? Like, why haven't I been able to order a soda at Chipotle for the past 10 years? Because it's too expensive. And yet you're managing billions of dollars. And anyways, I digress. Long story short, my dad, he started to teach me about funds, how funds are built, how they're working. I started to figure out this game of private equity, hedge funds, real estate funds. And so at 22 years old in college, I launched an investment fund out of school. I pitched my dad for money. My dad said no. I went out and raised some money. I built this little teeny fund. And it actually did pretty well. We got a 64% return to our investors. Did very well. We then launched a second fund. I ran that for about 3.5, 4 years. And we did very well. We then had a competitor come and buy us out, which was pretty cool. So I sold that fund. And now I run my third fund right now. We run a hedge fund, which is pretty cool. During that process, though, that timeline, Mason, who's my business partner, and me, we had started getting into this ClickFunnels community. So I remember back to my days when I was with the CMO guy about funnels, and we had built websites, and we thought, hey, I wonder if people would want to learn about funds, about this space. And so that's when I knew you, Ben. We had this idea and we kind of floated around with like Steve Larson, a couple of these guys, and we started to test this idea. And actually Steve Larson and Russell were phenomenally helpful. Instead of just building, we tried to build a course prior as a real estate course. It totally flopped. And I think that's good to know, by the way. We tried to build a real estate course and it was actually pretty impressive. We hired videographers to come in and film this. We were like, let's be like expert secrets. Let's be course creators. So we built a real estate course. And we launched it and it totally flopped like bad. And we did the weekly webinar. I did the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I followed the thing and we did it. And I did webinars and it did not work. And I was so frustrated. And then I looked, I was like, well, there's about 100 other people that also sell real estate courses. Like Dean Graciel, you can name them. There's like 50 people that run. And I was like, why would they pick me? I picked a red ocean. We went right into a red ocean. But some people don't think about that with like online stuff. And I have friends right now. I have a friend that just last week was like, dude, I want to be a fitness influencer. And I was like, dude, you and 20,000 other people, like, what's your niche? Like, what are you going after? And so actually thankful to Ben and the ClickFunnels community helped me realize you need to pick a blue ocean. So we thought we had an idea for a blue ocean with funds, investment funds. And so we had this, cool idea. We were working with Steve Larson pretty closely and he's like, test your market. So we started doing podcasts and shows and we did ads to test it. We actually launched the course before we built it. That's a whole different story for another day. But we literally gave ourselves a timeline and a budget. So we said we got 5. So sorry, I'll back up a little bit. I'm talking too fast.
You're great.
I had this problem for a while as an entrepreneur. You get so much noise in your head. You know what I'm talking about? Like you have all these ideas, like I can make money doing this or this or this, and you get shiny object syndrome, whatever you call it. And I would lay up at night and my brain was like bouncing around like crazy. And finally I had a great mentor tell me, Bridger, when you have business ideas, write them all down, pick your favorite one and go after it 100% with a timeline and a budget. So give yourself 3 weeks and $500 and fully test out that idea. And either in 3 weeks, you'll be able to check like that was good, let's keep going, or you'll cross off the list and go to the next one. But it'll get the noise out of your head onto paper. And if you do this test of 3 weeks and $500 enough, you'll eventually, find one that hits and then you'll go after it. And so I was like, okay, that'll help me get this noise out of my head onto paper. So we had this idea for an investment fund course. We did 3 weeks, $500. We put $500 pretty much into ads. We made like 15 ads, 2 landing pages. We A/B tested. And then we had like we said, people would opt in for a webinar. We didn't have a webinar built. So they just would opt in and we'd say, oops, sorry, the webinar's, broken or something. But hey, we have a course that's $47 about investment funds. Here's all the details of it. Do you guys want it?
Dude,
and
yes.
We had a little checkout page. And guess what? The course wasn't built either. So people would buy. This is straight from Steve Larson. So shout out to Steve Larson. It's like people would buy and the next page would say, hey, sorry, the course isn't done yet. We just wanted to see if you would buy. We will refund your money right now. However, if you want to stay, we're going to build this course over the next 3 or 4 weeks. And if you want to help us build it, like we'll do it together. And so like the first week we had about 50 people buy. I think 3 or 4 refunded. The other 47 stayed, which was pretty cool. And we're like, okay, people want this. And they helped us build this course out. Anyways, I'm going too long here, but we then, we started to do this. And I'll talk about Funnel Hacking Live was like monumental in this process. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But we started to build this course. Our first month and a half, we spent about $80,000 in ads and we made back about $81,000. It was the perfect break-even funnel. Like every day we just check, like we just want to break even because we were building a list.
Right.
And then we did a launch, like a total Jeff Walker PLF style launch. We followed the Russell thing. We did $144,000. And that was 1 week after Funnel Hacking Live. We waited. We said, let's wait till Funnel Hacking Live. We want to get all the strategy, which Funnel Hacking Live was phenomenal. This is February of 2020, right before COVID. Yep. We go to Funnel Hacking Live. We got all like hyped up. We got all these cool strategies. Everything was amazing. Because we did that on purpose. Like we need to go to Funnel Hacking Live to make sure we're doing everything correctly. Literally 7 days later, we launched our business on a webinar. The webinar broke, by the way. We were using Webinar Jam. It broke 3 times. We redirected everyone to a Zoom call. Mason was like hyperventilating the floor. We still launched it. And a couple of college kids are selling a course on private equity, which is, usually a gray hair business. Yeah. And we did 144,000. We were like, holy crap. And then we kept doing webinars. So we said, let's do a week. We're going to follow. Russell went on stage at Funnel Hacking Live. And he's like, I only know of like 1 or 2 people that have done this. If you do a webinar a week for a year, you'll never be poor again. He's like, take me up on the offer. And we're like, okay, we'll actually do it. Because most people do a couple webinars, they automate. He's like, no, do a live webinar every Thursday for a year. We said, done. And so we started doing webinars and we set these goals and we kept iterating, testing. We hit 1 million. We hit our 2 Comma Club award in about 5.5 months, which was phenomenal. We hit 2.5 million in our first 12 months, which is crazy. Jeez. And then from there, we did I think the next year we did like 5 million. This last year we just did right around 10 million in 1 year, which is crazy. So 2 Comma Club X in 1 year, which is just crazy. And now we've built out our whole value ladder and we run different funds and we have about 50 people in our company. It's just crazy. And we're still a couple of young, just kind of bucks that are doing this space. And we have actually like real people that are having real results. And like, it's not like it's some fake thing. Like it's massive. And sorry, there's a lot of offshoots of this. I'm sure you guys want to chime in and stuff, but there's a ton of little mini stories in that story. But now we're to this point and it's now we threw an event just a few months ago. We had 2,000 people live in Miami. We had Ed Milet show up, Jim Rogers. That was our second big event. Next year, we're planning a 3,000 person event in Orlando. It's just going to be phenomenal. And it's pretty cool.
That's so cool. So you brought up Funnel Hacking Live. So 2020 was the one right before you did your launch.
Yeah.
Was that your first Funnel Hacking Live or have you been to ones in the past before that? Can you tell us about your experience?
Yeah, we went to 2019 actually. So Mason drugged me to 2019 Funnel Hacking Live. I didn't want to go. I'm a finance guy. I was like, dude, I'm good. Like, I don't need to go learn this online. He's like, no, Bridger, you need to come. You need to see the vision of what we're going to build. I was like, okay, I'm all in. If I go to something, I'm all in. So I go to a lot of events. I was telling you guys this before. I like events. I like studying events, by the way. I go to events, like I study the lights and like where the cameras are positioned. How do they do security? I love just the whole art.
Huh?
Oh yeah. I'm always calculating it. And then I like the stage, like how do speakers present? How do they come on stage? How do they like move the audience? I love studying. It's funny. If you look at my notes of events, half the notes are what the speakers say. The other half of the notes are how they presented. Like, why did they do that hook at the beginning? Why did they come into the audience? Like, I think there's like, even people, if you do virtual, like it's not even worth it. You have to be there in person to get that kind of experience. And so I went to Funnel Hacking Live 2019, was blown away. I've been to a lot of seminars and conferences and stuff. It was unreal, unlike any event I've ever seen. And me and Mason, we looked at each other at that event and we're like, dude, we're gonna hit the 2 Comma Club. We had no idea what we were gonna do. And the next 12 months, we kind of hit our heads against the wall. That's when we were trying to build websites for people. We were doing agents. It just we made some money, but nothing crazy. Mm-hmm. And then we said, let's do this fund thing. And then we started to test that for about 6 months. We built, like I did that story I just shared. And then we said, okay, we're going to launch this thing for big, but we need to go to Funnel Hacking Live again. It was so impactful that we made sure we went again that next year to make sure everything was perfect. Since 2019, I've been to every Funnel Hacking Live since then. And we, 2 years ago, we flew out, I think 5 of our team members. And we just said, you guys, because it was funny. Me and Mason would go and then we'd come back and we'd like have whiteboards with our teams. Like, we need to do this, this, and this. And they just didn't quite catch the vision. And we would just drag them along and just do this stuff. We were like, you need to catch like what we're building. And so we paid, I don't know, thousands of dollars to fly people out and do this because we thought the ROI is going to be so immense. I flew out my video guy. I said, it wasn't to video me. It was to just, I want you to watch how they do production. I want you to watch I want you to see where we could become. And back to what we're talking about, we're on stage, we're going to talk about dramatic demonstrations. And what our video guy was there and they talked on stage about dramatic demonstrations at the event he was at. And then 2 months later, he came, he's like, guys, I got this great idea. We should do like this thing. We like jumped over a sports car. We were doing these crazy stunts on and he was like, I could video edit it because he had caught the vision of what we were trying to build. And the next board meeting we have, the ideas and stuff, it was just phenomenal. So last year we flew out, I think 8 to 10 team members flew out, paid for them in full to be at Funnel Hacking Live because they need to catch the vision. This year, we're already planning and we're speaking this year, which is really cool. But we're still flying people out on our own dime to just be there, not to like watch us, but I'm like, you guys need to be there all 4 days to see what's going on at this. And so, again, I've been to events. I've been to Tony Robbins events. I've been to pretty much, I like events. I like going to events. And, I've been thoroughly impressed by Funnel Hacking Live because it's the production quality, but also the content. That's why we take our team this is going to give us the ideas for the next 12 months, which is pretty phenomenal.
Dang.
So awesome.
I can't say not enough good things about Funnel Hacking. I'm not just spitting. I'm not just doing this because I'm speaking at the event. Like, and sometimes you do that. People invite you to be like, yeah, this event's cool. I'm thoroughly saying this like as a true testimonial. Like, I've never seen a better event than Funnel Hacking Live that I would pay 10 times more going again. I've gone again and again and again to go to it.
Well, I mean, last year you paid for like 5 to 8 different people to come last year and you didn't know you were speaking. And then you paid Russell to be able to be like in the room and masterminding with him inside. Yeah. It's a Cat Kings now, Category King.
Mm-hmm.
Is where you're at. And like you were on stage and you started talking about what it is that's important here. So as you guys know, Russell, this entire Funnel Hacking Live is talking about the strategy called the linchpin. This is how you get a business that's able to survive and it's able to give you that breathing room as an entrepreneur to be able to continue to be crazy and grow while having the backing that you need to know that you're going to be supported as you do it. And as you were presenting, like he just started clicking these things in his head. You could just watch. He's like, "Oh my gosh!" So, what was that like? What are you talking about when he reached out?
Yeah. So yeah, we're the Category Kings group, and you get to present to Russell. And again, we thought the same way. Like I'm a finance guy. I think about things in an ROI sense. I'm going to pay $1 to get $2 back. And we joined Category Kings and Funnel Hacking Live, whatever the event is. I always think about it that way, and we always think about it as an ROI. And I'll just say this, before I dive in. I thought this whole ClickFunnels thing was like a total hoax for that first year. I was like, I remember thinking like, this is a scam. I tried a bunch of funnels. We tried with our agency, I don't know, 7 to 10 funnels that totally failed.
Right.
And I was like, these are fake testimonials. There's no one actually doing this. This is such a whatever, just one of those hype things. Everyone's hyped up because about whatever. And then I was like, it actually worked, And it's like, it keeps working and compounding. And then like, it was just incredible. So I digress. But anyways, we're back to your question. So we're in Category Kings, and we did a presentation at the last, one of the last meetings on dramatic demonstrations, which if you don't know what that means, it's just how to create some kind of an event or message around a product or a product launch. How to create a lot of noise. Steve Larson talks about that. You got to create a ton of buzz around your product. And Steve and Russell can teach it way better than I can what a dramatic demonstration is. But what we did on stage was, let me show you what it is in action. Like, we took what you guys did. I'm a great student. I just like to follow the process. I don't like being a trailblazer. You blaze the trail and I'll just follow along because I like doing that. And so I said, we did a presentation. Let me show you on stage how we did dramatic demonstrations. So this takes you back to, I think, 2021. We did, we try to like dovetail things with events. So the Olympics were going on in Tokyo. So this whole Olympics was getting hyped up, and we thought, let's do something for our community around the Olympics. So we call it the Fund Games. Apparently we were going to call it the Fund Olympic Games, but Olympic is a trademarked word. Anyways, we had to do Fund Games. So the Fund Games launched, and we built these, and we'll show you on stage when we get up there, all these funny videos. They're like funny, but creative, that really spread our message. We dovetailed this with giveaways and giveaway funnels with Upfire. We'll talk about how we do that. But we incentivized incredible people to come and share our product because they wanted to share our product, to give away something to our community that they wanted to share. It wasn't like we were obligating, like, please share my message. It was like, no, I want to share this. And we had, I think we added 8,000 to 10,000 leads to our sales team and database, which is pretty big. If you calculate cost per lead, that's a pretty big ROI on this presentation. We then said, okay, let's double down. So the next one we did, we actually said, let's give away, we see these guys like Logan Paul or these people on David Dobrik giving away Teslas online. So we went and bought a Tesla, and we actually gave away a Tesla on Instagram. And which is kind of we went for the bigger one. We got, 15,000 people to share that thing, and it blew up on social media. It did very well. It was a huge dramatic demonstration days before Black Friday, which Black Friday, historically for us, we do a big sale. I think we made, 1 to 1.3 million on that promotion, which was crazy. However, we learned a few things from that one. We'll share it on stage, but how, like, sometimes if you give away a Tesla, you attract the wrong people versus the right people for your product. And anyways, we'll talk about that in a minute. We then did this last year, the World Cup was happening. And so let's do something called the Fund World Cup. So we did this whole dramatic demonstrations around the World Cup. We made all these soccer themed videos that were funny and goofy. And we like spoof stuff online. We got a ton of views just for free. People resharing our content for free. And then it dovetailed into a fun webinar we did. And then we like made a ton of money from it. Like, we just cried. It was really cool. And so we shared, without giving away too much stuff, we actually on stage, I'm going to walk you guys through like how we did it with a very low budget. Like, these aren't high budget videos we created. It's like a video guy with a camera or an iPhone. Like, it's not that crazy of stuff. We do these fun stunts we did and just stuff, taking trending videos, plugging into a theme of something that's going on right now. Kind of this formula of what we've built out to create a lot of noise around your product, which makes people laugh and smile, but also say, oh, like, I'm actually going to look into that thing. And it was phenomenal for us. So me and Mason's not here today, but Mason will be on stage with me. He's my chief marketing officer. I'm kind of the face of the brand. He's kind of the behind the scenes funnel guy, and we're 50-50 partners. So we'll both be on stage presenting this, and it's going to be pretty fun.
That is awesome. Dude. Okay. So look, here's the deal, guys. You just heard like a little snippet of a story of what's possible. You've heard Bridger going through all this. You need to get your tickets to Funnel Hacking Live. Let's go ahead and pull up the Funnel Hacking Live sales page. When you go to funnelhackinglive.com, this is what you're going to see. And you need to grab your tickets. Go through here, realize the experience, see who Russell is bringing on and why he's bringing on. We have summaries on every single speaker, and every single speaker is there to give value in a very specific, strategic sort of way. They're not there in order to sell you. They're not there in order to say, well, here's my program, or here's this. This is 100% value. Why are they giving? Because Russell gave to them. These frameworks have inspired and lifted them, and they're like, please, I would love to be able to give back. This is an experience you will not find anywhere else. It is the quintessential thing of ClickFunnels. You become a part of the tribe when you go to Funnel Hacking Live, because it becomes so much more. You realize you're not alone. You realize that there's a path, and you see people who are successful. You have no idea who you're sitting around. the networking opportunities, that everything is designed in order to help you change your life in the next 12 months. So if you have not gotten your tickets, you need to get your tickets at funnelhackinglive.com, because heck, I'm freaking out. I want to hear what Bridger's talking about now. Like, I want to see it all. I want to see the
And
numbers.
I'll echo that. It's phenomenal how Russell preps his speakers on stage. I've spoken to a lot of events. Most of the time, like, yeah, just speak about whatever. Russell makes sure each speaker is you're talking about this topic and giving this nugget to the audience. I want the audience to have, it's not just some hype or I'm going to pump you up. You need to have, it's actually really interesting. He's talked to me and Mason, like, you guys need to make sure you're sharing about this one topic, dramatic demonstrations, and how someone in the audience that's just brand new could use this in their business, which is pretty cool. And he doesn't just do that with us. He does that with every single speaker. And I'll just echo that from Ben's side. It's pretty phenomenal. He does that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to go get your Funnel Hacking Live ticket. When you do, we can pull up what is in the offer, because you're not just getting a ticket for going to the live event.
Nah.
That's amazing. And you should be there. And if you buy this ticket, like, do all the other things that you have to do to get there. But you also get swag. Make sure you leave room in your luggage. Marketing AI integration put into your 2.0 account. Inner Circle bonuses. They've put so many amazing bonuses in there already. Plus, you get all of the replays from all of the Funnel Hacking Lives that have already happened. So this is like everyone else who's attended. You've been to all but one. All had to pay to be there to all of these. They've spent a lot of money to be able to see these presentations, and you only have to pay for the one ticket and you get all of the replays. Like, that's a killer deal. And then on top of that, all of our speakers this year are putting in amazing bonuses. They're like worth more than the price of admission.
No joke.
Like, it's crazy. And Bridger, I don't know, do you have something that you want to throw into that as well as your bonus?
Yeah, I will. I love the ClickFunnels community. I'm a member myself. I'm a funnel hacker. I love the diehard shirts and everything. So for my fellow funnel hackers, if you're interested in the space of funds, and I know Russell he's like, we're not VC, and that's okay, but it's also good to be on the VCs. The reason Russell hates VCs is because VCs make a ton of money. They make a lot of money. And if it's like, okay, you can hate the man or you can become the man or woman, right? Like, be the person like that runs the world. So we help people to launch funds. They build real estate funds and build out. They go buy huge portfolios. Russell right now, I've been joking around with Russell. He's been silently acquiring a lot of businesses under his brand. He's doing this right now. And if you want to grow, yes, you can grow and bootstrap, but another way you can do is build a fund and go buy out your competitors. Go buy an existing business or an existing funnel that's doing really well. Not every single person has to come up with a brand new idea tomorrow. You can go actually make a lot of money buying businesses. Anyways, if you want to learn about this game, we've got an amazing course on funds that we're giving to you guys totally for free. So this course it's a robust course. I think it's 25 videos. We walk through what funds are, how they're built, how to actually structure one, how to raise capital, how to incentivize investors. We have PDF downloads. We have an Excel template that you guys can use. We have full live calls you guys get access to. I mean, we actually do a lot and our goal is to help decentralize Wall Street. Wall Street is kind of taking over industries right now. They're rolling up industries like crazy. I think last year, 1 in 5 homes were purchased by Wall Street. Oh. I think more people should understand this game. We can't just let all of our, real estate, all of our homes be purchased by Wall Street. People like us need to be buying homes and grouping them together. Well, that's one example. But anyways, if you guys want to learn about funds, how funds are built, we have a totally free course. I don't know, Ben or Susan, the best way to give that to you. I have a link I can give to you guys, or whatever you guys want to do on stage, whatever it is, we'll give that to you guys. But yeah, that's my bonus for all my fellow funnel hackers out there. I think you guys should start thinking about this game of funds. And it's a really cool opportunity. And even if you don't start a fund, learning what a fund is, your company might sell to a fund one day. Hopefully, you're going to have private equity firms coming and talking to you, giving you offers. You need to understand how private equity works. How are they incentivized? How do they trade deals? What do they do? Or if you're even not even maybe you don't even run a company, but you're just an employee, your company might one day sell to a fund. And if you understand how funds work, you're probably going to get promoted or do well in that company during the merger or acquisition of that business as well, if you understand this game. So I'll leave with that. It's a pretty cool bonus. You guys will get access to this full course that we built out for you guys.
So this is what we'll do. We'll reach out to Bridger after the call, guys. So we're going to grab that link. We're going to toss it into the members area. So if you already have your ticket, We'll go ahead and toss that into the membership area. You guys will have access to it. If you do not have a ticket yet, make sure you go to FunnelHackingLive.com and grab your ticket. It is, so I've been there every year except for the first. And it is one of those things, it doesn't matter how broke, doesn't matter how successful, I will always be at Funnel Hacking Live because it is the event where it doesn't matter where you're at, there's a message specifically for you. And there is somebody that you need to meet there. There is something that you need to discover. There is something that is given to you that helps you make it through the next couple months. My wife always tells me, like, you need to go back to Funnel Hacking Live. Like, I can tell you're a little low on the juice. Like, you need to hurry up. So go and get your tickets.
Ben, I'll share a story about that. My wife said the same thing to me last year, actually. It was so funny. I went and I felt like my batteries were a little low, and I went to Funnel Hacking Live. And the last day I listened to those speakers, and usually the last day is like a lot of impact and everything. And I remember I was full, like crying, like just tears of like sadness and joy. And like, I can't believe how blessed I am. And like, I remember I got on the plane ride and I didn't watch a movie. I wrote. I was on a 4-hour plane ride home. I wrote for about 2.5 hours. And then I think I slept, but I wrote for about 2 hours about my vision, what I was going to become, the changes I was going to make as a family man, as a dad, as a brother, as a business owner, as a business partner. And it was a phenomenal just shift. And I feel like it's back to what, sorry, I keep cutting in. You guys want to like close this out, and I keep cutting you off because I just can't say enough good things about how this event is structured and built. And it's actually literally changed my life.
Well, it's so well done that you've modeled it and how you do your business now. So like, if anybody has seen any of your events or even gotten a peek, you model the same pieces. And Russell is like super proud of that fact, by the way. He's like, it works so good. Hedge fund people are using it. He's like, yeah. It's great. So, dude, thank you so much for being on. Yeah. It's absolutely awesome. If you have not gotten your tickets, go to FunnelHackingLive.com, grab your ticket. You will not regret it. Get your ticket, go through the bonuses, commit to being there. We cannot wait to see you. And the amount of value that everyone is trying to give to you to try to get you there should tell you alone you're called to be there. We can't wait to see you.
Bye, everybody.
There are so many people walking around who don't know that they can change the world.
You were born to do something great with your life. As an entrepreneur, you're going to have painful experiences, but all pain is temporary. And if you can survive it, you will meet another version of yourself.
I was just numb. We were racking up credit cards. We stopped paying for our house. We literally were selling furniture out of our home.
I felt trapped and exhausted by my life, and I couldn't see a way out.
I felt like a shell of who I was made to be.
In life, you are most capable of helping the person you used to be. If you used to be broke, you can help broke people. If you used to be broken, you can help broken people.
It starts with you. You hear the call. You feel it. It's beating, it's pulsing. I'm made for something more.
We get scared.
And then fear hits us.
The little voices in the back of our head.
I'm not ready. I'm not worthy. The driven say, no, I'm going to do it. The driven are you guys here today.
More people are finding their breaking point and waking up.
I have a calling. Yesterday I realized I have to do this.
There's a soul here at ClickFunnels.
It felt like I had gone through the wardrobe of the Chronicles of Narnia, and I was just like, what is this magical place that makes billionaires?
I'm going to show you the magic trick that's made me all of my money.
My best-selling framework.
Start out closing if you're going to end up closing.
82% of customers trust influencers.
This better blow your mind and allow you to predict the future.
People need aliveness and meaning again.
Who do you want to become? What do you want to felt and experience in this one precious life?
You wouldn't be able to tell, but I ran the New York Marathon when I was 19. Life happened, and my mom passed away. One of my daughters had a traumatic brain injury, wasn't expected to live.
When you meet somebody that continues to push through adversity, that is the definition of an entrepreneur. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sponsor you through this journey because everybody deserves an opportunity. What you do with it is up to you.
feel a sense of belonging here.
It feels like home. It's so encouraging because if they can do it, so can I.
It starts with saying, hey, next year we're going to get that.
Russell has a way of teaching that makes success faster.
In my opinion, he's the best marketer ever lived.
You find exactly what your business is missing.
It's going to amplify every campaign you do.
If you've been thinking there has to be a better way to do this than what you're being told, I'm here to tell you you're right.
People might say you're too young or you're too old or your body's not right or you didn't go to the right school. Then one day, they're telling people how they met you.
Funnel Hacking Live changed my entire life because now I know what I'm going to do next.
Your family's going to be blessed. Your legacy's going to be blessed. Movements are about to be birthed.
My story hopefully gave women permission.
If you're believing, stand to your feet.
You do not have to be great to get started, but you have got to start if you ever want to be great.